the gospel with you. So here's the outline for this session. 1, why learn Greek? Okay. And 2, Alpha to Omega, alphabet overview. So why learn Greek? Let's start with the most basic level. I'm not making any assumptions about you. Are you a Christian? Are you a Muslim? Are you a Jew? And if you are you a Jew who believes Jesus is the Messiah? Are you someone who doesn't believe, or who doesn't really know what to believe? Whatever your background and beliefs, you're welcome here, and there is something in it for you. Learning Greek is what Aristotle would classify as a thing good in itself. First, it will help with your English. Learning Greek will help you understand and apply English grammar. Also, did you realize that almost 25% of the English vocabulary derives from Greek? That's especially true of technical vocabulary in many fields, including natural sciences, medicine, and engineering. Whatever your background, whatever your beliefs, especially if you're curious about the Bible, but not sure what to believe. And I spent so much time in that place. Don't you want to know what the Bible actually says and means for yourself? I sure did. This is a chance to hear the very words of Jesus. And this leads right into the second reason, which is first-hand knowledge. Jesus will come into your life directly, individually, and personally. And here's your chance to get to know Him through His Word, without relying on intermediaries. In Matthew 4:4, Jesus, quoting, says, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God." So we read the Bible because it feeds the soul. And if the Word is the bread of life, what do you do with bread? We spread butter on it. And if you're a believer, what do you want to do with the Word? Spread it to the ends of the earth. Okay, so the Gospels, all of the New Testament, are written in Greek. So is the Septuagint, for that matter, which is a Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible from around the mid-3rd century BC. So when in Acts at 1711, it says the Bereans, quote, were more noble than those in Thessalonica, they received the word with all eagerness, examining the scriptures daily to see if these things were so. They're talking about the Septuagint there. That's the scriptures they're referring to. But more generally, just if you want to get back to the source and check, what does it actually say and what does it actually mean? You can go to the original yourself. Okay, so checking the scripture in the original language is invaluable because of the precision of Greek, because of its vast vocabulary and morphological specificity. It's much more precise, less ambiguous than English. That means that you can understand subtle nuances of the meaning and interpret difficult to translate passages yourself. And for believers, that's going to give you all kinds of confidence, right? Because this is a strategy of evil. Did he really say? Right. Okay, so to learn Greek, we're learning the Greek alphabet. It will take regular practice and some getting used to, but the good news is that the Greek alphabet is very similar to the version of the Roman alphabet that we use today to write English, Spanish, and many other languages. Here's a brief historical explanation for why that is. The first alphabet is termed Proto-Sinaitic or Proto-Canaanite or Proto-Semitic. While there's general agreement that it comes out of Northwest Semitic, there are many theories, but no consensus about exactly when it was invented or exactly who invented it. It was certainly in use by the mid-second millennium BC in Egypt, though, when Exodus records that Moses wrote the Torah. The Phoenicians used an alphabet derived from this alphabet, and the Phoenicians were seafarers. When they came in contact with Proto-Greeks in the 8th century BC, they borrowed these Phoenician letters. And it's essentially the same script that we use for the Roman alphabet. Okay, so I'm going to run through very quickly letters of the Greek alphabet. And you're going to know many of these. So I'm going to start with those that I think you're going to recognize, and then we'll move on to some that you might not recognize. And I'm going to try to give you a couple of tricks for remembering some of these, but we're going to go through each one of these in a separate lesson, okay? All right, so starting out, got alpha, which is like A in English. It makes an ah sound. Beta makes a b sound, like B. Delta, D, duh. Epsilon, it makes a short eh sound. Okay, like one of the sounds that the letter E makes in English. Zeta looks like a Z, it makes a z sound. Kind of like a DZ. Zzz. Iota makes a I sound, like one of the sounds that the letter I makes in English. Kappa is a K. Omicron, A, makes a short O sound. Pi makes a P sound, just like P does in English. Tau makes a T sound. And upsilon, it makes a sound kind of like U with an umlaut, an U sound. Okay? Okay. Those look pretty much like their equivalents in the Roman script that we're used to. I think that these next two, gamma and theta, most people probably know. So gamma is a G sound, like the English letter G. And so this is used, for example, for gamma rays. Theta makes a th sound. So people may remember from your mathematics classes, cosine theta equals, etc. Okay. Okay. These next letters, eta. Eta vaguely looks like a capital letter E turned on its side, okay, and it makes a long A sound, okay, like a long A, okay, as distinguished from the short E sound that epsilon makes. Okay, lambda is just a cursive L or a loop. So this is how you can remember this one. L makes the same sound that an L makes in English. Mu and nu. Just remember the mu has a tail like a cow. Mu. So don't confuse it with the upsilon. The upsilon does not have a tail. Okay. Nu is like a new pencil. This is the N sound. It's pointy at the tip. New, like a new pencil. Tip is pointy. Ro. Some people are going to confuse this with pi, but row looks different. So just remember, row your boat. Okay, so you've got the handle of an oar and a paddle at the end with the row. Row your boat. Okay. Xi. It makes a KS sound. The problem is the way that this one looks. It looks like a capital E in cursive. It's not. So just imagine, if you want to help you remember this one, think of it as being like you're stacking a C on top of an S. Okay? But it makes a X sound. Phi. Okay, with this one you can think of it as being kind of like theta on its side, if that helps. So both of them, with theta you have a TH sound, with phi you have a PH sound. Th sound and a f sound. Okay, so we're almost done here. Chi. It looks like an X, but it makes a K sound, like chemistry. Okay, so it has this cross shape. So if you think of the word Christian, the K sound, that's the sound this letter makes. That can help you remember it. Psi. Looks like an upside down tripod, or a tree, or a fork. And a fork has tips. Okay, so the PS sound at the end of that word, tips, that's the sound the psi makes. It's a PS sound. Okay, and my last tip in this module is for the letter omega. So the omega, or the big O, it looks like two O's mushed together. Okay? So in English, if you have two O's together, it's going to make a sound like like in book. But in Greek, it'll make a long O sound. So omega versus A for omicron. Okay. That's it. Thank you.